Welcome, everyone. It's Matt along with Goo, and it's 80s night. Duran is coming. More importantly, though, should you be with him, or is he just an. And maybe worth a skip. Stay tuned. All right. Coming the 26th at our normal time here, we will be getting Duran, who is a pretty strong unit, but I'm going to be honest. He seems stronger than he really is, and I'll kind of tell a lot of people why. His leadership effect is actually not the greatest. Raises demon physical potency plus 20%. Um, there's better out there for even just physical potency in general. So you're not really going to be using Duran as a leader. And if you are, then it's going to be really, really specific reason, and only because you can't bring in the other units that have a better leadership effect. With that saying, though, Duran has a very strong set of pure power skills. First one, Flurry Scroit, which is a non-elemental, deals 70% potency damage to one enemy 3 times. Can be anywhere from 2 to 4, and this is very important because Flurry Strike for the third awakening can be activated at 60%, which is pretty often. Still not 100%, but often enough as a counter. And with that, this is a great skill for the automatic counter, but just if you're fighting against Duran and you're going to do strike, you either need to strike him beyond 4 range, which is nearly impossible, or make sure that you are touching Duran so that he cannot counter you if he has that third awakening or higher. The second skill, Dark Blade, 250% SAM physical damage to all enemies within range. This is great. We haven't had a SAM high-end attack skill in a while. Very, very good overall. Last one's Warrior Finesse. 76 MP. Deals 70 physical damage to random enemies 5 times. Most importantly, though, he heals 20% of this damage. Normally, I would be like, I'm not a huge fan of random, but with this extra 20% of damage, you're talking about a pretty good overall amount of damage. 350% one goes around to about 420% when you get it to plus 10. This is your highest damage that you're going to get, even with Zam here, unless if it's super weak to Zam with the Dark Blade. Warrior's Finesse will be the strongest. Flurry Strike is basically flavorful text, or if you really need to make sure one unit dies, if they're grouped up too much. But other than that, you're going to be using Warrior's Finesse as the main one, and Dark Blade when they're weak to Zam. For the Awakening skill, the first one, just like Nocturnus, has odd turns up until 10, so 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Raises attack and agility for these 3 turns. It's not as strong, but personally, for the unit that Duran is, this is perfect form and starts turning into a very scary unit, especially if it goes first. The one real positive dive with Duran is with this Awakening skill. If you get him to 3 hearts with that, occasionally attacks with Flurry Strike with this Awakening skill as well. The reason is a lot of times when you're going, if you are a defense and you do place Duran, and remember he is a demon, so he has only 50 weight compared to 65 for a lot of people. Duran, you can't really delay on him like you do for a lot of other units. Waiting till turn 3 can be really scary because the agility starts picking up and the attack starts picking up. and can become pretty dangerous with that counter. Now, there are ways to get around that counter, get up and close to him, then attack. But the flurry strike is a pretty powerful counter for 210%. And if you get it upgraded to plus 10, you're talking around 250 when you do all that. With his high attack, that will do a lot of damage and can really make things hard. But personally, I'm going to be telling a lot of people, unless if you're willing to get him to Awakening 3, there's not a really good reason to be really going for him. Second and fourth are Bang and Zap resistance, and the fifth one is physical crit plus 5% along with Warrior Finesse 5% as well. And the additional crit just makes him even scarier. So people who fully awaken Duran will have an absolute powerhouse at their disposal that has 50%, just 50 weight. Sorry, not 50% weight. 50 weight. The 130 stats, HP and defense are pretty good. Not the highest, not the lowest. Well within above average for both. That attack at 556, when fully awakened, becomes really scary when you think about turn 3. That turns into basically probably acts more like 750 or so for the pure with the increase of attack. And agility 450, being able to go first, will be able to just absolutely destroy units, etc., with the speed and attack combination. So good defenses will probably have even like the Damselfly along with Duran, and basically they're going to ask the people who are fighting them, choose your poison. Do you want someone who can just do plain physical attacks till you die, or with the do you want to be confused? And it makes it a lot harder to generate teams, especially since Bang and Zap are kind of where a lot of the other units are currently in meta. Bang and Zap are very strong with Duran, and that does make it very hard to kind of build a team. Example would be like Maldragora and maybe a Corvus or a Sorrow plus a Duran and a Damselfly. Becomes really, really hard to get a full out overall understanding, because now you have basically a full out attacking defense team, where you're used to teams that are just trying to stall you out, and they can completely whittle you down and just forced issues that you don't have the options to. So it does give you additional options on defense with having a very strong Duran. Preferred weapon is going to be his Storm Dagger. We'll get Phantom Battle. It's not. Sorry, it's the Samurai Sword, not Storm Dagger. Warrior's Finesse, Dark Blade, HP, and Agility. Personally, I think you're going to be using Warrior's Finesse. That's why I have that above. I'm always with the HP and just taking a little less attack overall with that, just to give one more. And HP is a little important for Duran because his intrinsic ability is Guts. And when I say Guts, means that if he gets HP to 0 the first time, it will go back up to 1. That will be till the hero comes out, but giving him more HP just makes it harder to reach that point, just like Sorrow, and has that ability like Sorrow, which can make him really, really dangerous. The only problem is he doesn't have the evade ability that Sorrow does, and that's why, to me, Sorrow's just that much more powerful, along with a few other things that I'll just kind of go through. For learned skills, Blunt if you're going to be attacking, or you're going to want to do like a buff or something and just allow Duran to basically have higher defense, stay back, and absolutely just wait until they come to you. Once again, you can do it either or. Blunt is probably a more interesting because you're probably going to want to do more of attack style. But buff is another good one. Buff is like with almost every unit, so not everybody has that many buff scrolls left, and that's I've got a few left in supply, but as I say, he has a really good reason for buff because he's scary for also a counterattack reason on top of it. So all in all, those are the two major skills that you're going to want. But basically, the goal is less damage onto Duran so he can counterattack you to victory. Pros cons pull. Guts is always good. Hero will circumvent it. There will also be other units that can Corvus or a lot of others that have multiple hits. Multiple hits also goes away Guts because Guts will practice sometimes on the third hit and then the fourth hit will kill you from the one. So it is no longer nearly as incredibly strong. Even Duran has his main skill is going to be 5 random hits, which also heals. So at that point, Guts is good, but it just is just okay. The third awakening is very, very, very powerful, and this is what makes him, to me, the scariest out of some of the other units, especially at 50 weight. But has only 2 or 4 spaces only, and that the odd turn buff is very strong with the attack and agility. I'm actually doing this a little bit of out of order. Didn't really get to talk too much, but this attack is, as I say, with the attack agility, with the agility. This is a very good combination, very well designed kit per se. But the cons is really just arena unit and not a PvE unit because he can be replaced very easily with other units. And even with arena, Duran isn't super scary without putting a lot of awakenings in there or getting a lot of awakenings there. So it's very hard to give you've got to pull other than, hey, if I get super lucky, will I use him? Yes. Otherwise, no. But as I say, there's ways to counter him too. His strong counter, as long as you attack near him, so basically the squares right by him, he won't be able to use it. 60% being able to be used by it. So even then, there's still a chance it won't proc and you'll get lucky. But the summonable unit for Duran is Jackal Ripper. Interesting unit, beast. High HP, high attack, low defense, low movement, and pretty good agility for a unit. Muster Strength gives the ability to have 1.5 extra potency for the next turn. That's actually pretty nice when your movement's only 2. Rolling Crusher is everything around him and does with lowering defense. That is actually a good one of those skills that will be good against Duran, as an example. And Burning Blast also does his physical damage to all enemies. All in all, pretty useful kit, pretty useful stats. Main issue, raise beast attack by 10% is just for a leadership effect. The first awakening is great. Raises attack power and movement for 3 turns. On top of his 525 attack, that is just a wonderful combination. The third and fifth awakening adds guts to him. Third awakening 60%, which is occasional, and fifth gives another 10%, which will be 70%. You're basically going to want to add another element to it. I'd probably say Crackle, but Zam's also a pretty good one too, or Zap even, if you want to kind of build him as a counter, depending on where you are in your overall. But from a banner standpoint, if Duran was released 3 months ago, we might say, hey, he was pretty good. But in all honesty, if you compare Duran to Nocturnus, I'm going to be honest. I might have pulled for Nocturnus instead. Um, he has just a little bit more overall use in my mind than Duran. Duran is a great arena unit, but I still use Nocturnus in PvE. Um, don't use him in arena anymore, but that's partially because I've got a much more nasty arena team. And Zoma, when he gets his awakenings, plus Bianca with her awakenings, those are my and the main three that have been out the last 2 months. Those are the main units that I'm going to be using in my arena team, and I'm not even sure how hard I'm going to be going for hero at all myself, just because it doesn't quite fit with my team, and I'm not sure if I want to go too deep with the hero. But for Duran, I just don't really see him for me. For units that like him, he is a great arena unit, but personally, PVE, there's not a great deal. The one positive he has is Warrior's Finesse gives him a heal, and he can counter some units as well, which you can use to try to lower damage, etc., etc. But I just don't see a great deal of use for Duran. Um, and also with some very powerful units coming out in probably the next month and a half, I highly suggest that this is a skip. So I hope you guys enjoyed the 80s, uh, but more importantly, stay safe. I'm also going to, you'll be seeing some videos that will be outside of Dragon Quest Tactics. I'm going to do some trying to make some donations and etc. for a local local charity called Cure. Childhood cancer is something that has affected my family, and more importantly, I want to start helping out. So you'll start seeing these videos with like some challenges, etc. So doesn't have to be my channel. Doesn't even have to be in YouTube. But if it's something that touches you, I will try and start doing some videos where you can maybe donate time or other efforts as well, uh, and just kind of try to do some good with all the stuff that I've been doing. So good luck, everyone. Enjoy, and